Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is a high-adventure turn-based JRPG with a lot of heart, personality, and pretty good game design, honestly. It's a smaller, simpler alternative to the enormous epics of the time, but it wears this lot with pride, presenting a genuinely engaging and comedic take on familiar storytelling tropes. All the good fantasy stuff is still here, a young boy tragically torn from his home and thrust into a grand destiny, restoring the balance of nature and battling a wicked tyrant. But there's also an unmistakable air of childish innocence. Our hero Benjamin shrugs, snarks, and slashes his way through familiar story beats, acting as an energetic and charming avatar. His boyish, boisterous nature brings so much life to the narrative, and the game's dialogue is distinctly memorable thanks to the borderline parodical interactions between characters. It helps that the actual story is good too. Mystic Quest plays things straight as often as it subverts them, intermingling light sprinkles of postmodern sass with heartfelt pontifications on existential concepts of destiny, belonging, and unity. Basically, it's the best of all worlds. You still get your world-spanning adventure, but without the padding. You still get your grand moralizing, but from a more innocent, playful perspective. And you're still a young hero in way over his head, trying to make the world right, one town, one person, one good deed at a time, until the light returns to the realm and sorrow shrinks away. The gameplay adopts a similarly streamlined approach, doing away with random encounters and inventory management, focusing purely on combat and exploration. It's surprisingly well balanced overall. You do have to genuinely try to succeed, and having so few mechanics makes their actual utilities far clearer. Every weapon, every spell, every status effect fits some clear purpose, both for the enemies and yourself. Sure, you can restart fights on the spot, and there's never really any reason to retreat and regroup, but when a tough encounter appears, you do have to adjust your approach accordingly. If you play the game as a mindless button masher, your ally will end up paralyzed, you'll end up petrified, and your party will sit there helplessly as you're torn apart by surprisingly detailed monster sprites. Each battle can be finished in a few moves, but only if you properly optimize and strategize. Knowing when to defend, attack, heal, or exploit elemental weaknesses is just as important as any other JRPG, and the overall simplicity invites a sort of spellbinding purity. I found myself experimenting often because it was immediately clear how each tactical choice I made affected the ultimate outcome. And we haven't even talked about the dungeons proper. The aforementioned lack of random encounters enables each area to be built around unique enemy placement. A room full of monsters can sometimes look like a puzzle because who you fight and in what order can make all the difference. When you factor in the minor Zelda-inspired puzzles, hidden rooms, involved pathfinding, and platforming gauntlets, Mystic Quest feels like a proper grand adventure, where the world and your physical place within it are a serious factor. I don't mean to make the game sound like a masterpiece, but it is unflinchingly optimistic, energetic, adorable, and engrossing. It's rich in character, low in fat, and proudly upholds the spirit of its storied genre, despite many concessions. I'd personally consider it a classic.